The sun is a memory. For 3 turnings of the moon, the sky has been a shroud of grey, spitting a fine, choking dust that coats every leaf, every rock, every tongue. It falls like a constant, soft snow, but it is the snow of a world's funeral. The great mountain to the east, the one they call the Sky Spear, now bleeds smoke and breathes fire, and its breath is poison. The coughs of the children are dry and ragged in the stillness of the cave, a sound that shreds the heart of the elder Gor. He watches them, these last 37 souls of his people, their faces smudged with soot, their eyes wide with a fear that has become as constant as the ash. They are a tribe of Homo Erectus, inheritors of fire and the Stone Age. But those ancient tools are useless against an enemy you cannot strike, an enemy you must breed. The game is gone. The herds of long-horned bison have fled or fallen, their lungs turned to stone. The river runs thick with grey sludge, its fish floating pale and bloated on the surface. To stay is to slowly suffocate, to watch the weakest fade until the strongest follow. Goa's own hands, gnarled and scarred from a lifetime of shaping flint, tremble as he grips a spear that has tasted no blood in weeks. The cave, their womb of stone and smoke for generations of human ancestors, has become a tube. He makes the decision, his voice a low rasp that barely carries over the weeping of a mother holding a listless child. They will leave. They will walk west, through the one passage not yet choked by the mountain's fury, the valley they call the Gullet. No one wants to go. The Gullet is a place of bad spirits and worse beasts, a long, narrow wound in the earth where the wind whispers of death. But the choice is between the slow, certain death of the ash and the violent, possible death of the valley. It is no choice at all. They gather what little they have, heavy hide cloaks, worn skinning flints, and the precious, fire-marked sticks holding the embers that are the clan's lifeblood. The line of early humans shuffles out from the familiar dark of their home into the perpetual twilight of the ashfall. Their prehistoric life has been one of hardship, but this is an ending. This is an exodus. As they approach the valley's mouth, a jagged rent between two sheer cliffs. It is still heavy with dust, but beneath it lies another scent, the old, coppery smell of blood. A shape lies crumpled at the base of the rock wall. It is a Giganotosaurus, its bull-like horns unmistakable even in the gloom, its hide ripped open from belly to throat by something impossibly large. Its killers are nowhere to be seen. The clan freezes, a collective intake of breath, a killer of men, and it has been torn apart like a stray goat. This is the valley's greeting. This is a warning. Gor raises a hand, his face a mask of grim resolve. They must be whispers. They must not be seen. The clan moves forward, hugging the cliffside, a fragile chain of life stepping from a dying world into the waiting jaws of the Gullet. The Gullet narrows. The sheer rock walls on either side press in, funneling the ash-filled wind into a constant, mournful whistle. For days, the clan moves like shadows, their world shrinking to the few feet of visibility the grey air allows. They speak only in whispers, and the children learn a new kind of silence, the deep, listening stillness of prey. The evidence of the valley's master is everywhere. A colossal, 3-toed footprint pressed so deep into the mud it holds stagnant, ashen water. A massive rib cage of a sauropod, picked so clean the bones gleam with a sickly polish. The skeleton a cage of death large enough to hold the entire clan. Near it, they find a femur bone thicker than a man's torso, snapped clean in two. The power required to do such a thing is beyond their comprehension. It is the work of a god or a demon. Their survival skills are honed to a razor's edge. Kale, the clan's strongest hunter, moves ahead of the main group with living sensor. He reads the scrape marks on the rock, the subtle shifts in the air's scent, the depth and age of the tracks. This is no longer a simple migration, it has become a study of a single immense predator. They learn its rhythms. It patrols the central riverbed in the grey imitation of morning, its earth-shaking footsteps a slow, deliberate drumbeat of doom. In the deepest part of the day shroud it rests, a mountain of scaled flesh, hidden somewhere in the haze. These ancient humans are mapping the habits of a monster, their intelligence, the only shield against its might. Then they see it. They are huddled in a deep cleft of rock, chewing on dried roots that taste of grit. When the ground begins to thrum, it is a feeling that comes up through the soles of the feet, a vibration that settles deep in the chest. Slowly, a shape resolves out of the swirling ash, a walking nightmare from a world of prehistoric life. It is the Giganotosaurus, a creature so vast it seems to break the rules of the world. Its head, longer than a man is tall, swings slowly from side to side, twin abysses for nostrils tasting the dead air. A low growl rumbles from its chest, a sound less of anger than of pure geologic power. Its hide is the color of wet slate, streaked and caked with the grey ash, making it a perfect phantom in this monochrome landscape. As it passes their hiding place, its massive eye, a yellow slit of cold, ancient hunger, sweeps over the rocks, unseeing. No one breathes. To breathe is to exist, and to exist here is to die. The children are pressed into their mothers' bodies, their faces buried in hide to muffle even the smallest whimper. When the thrumming of its footsteps fades, the clan remains frozen for a long time. The fear is a physical thing, a cold stone in the gut. But in Goar's eyes a different light is dawning. He watched it. He saw the way it favored one leg, the slight drag of a scarred hind limb. He saw how it kept the open path of the river, avoiding the tighter sections of rock. It is not a spirit. It is flesh and blood. It has a territory. And perhaps it has a weakness, whispered from one trembling mouth to the next. Ashmore. To name the fear is to make it real, to make it something that can be understood. And whatever can be understood, they believe can one day be overcome. The Exodus has become a siege, and they are the ones trapped behind the walls of their own fear. They are trapped. The valley ahead opens into a treacherous river bend, a sweep of exposed, sucking mud where the cliffs recede, offering no cover. Beyond it, Kale has scouted the way out, a gentle, rising slope leading to the clean air of the western plains. But the path is guarded. Ashmore is there, a grey behemoth resting near the water. It's massive from blocking the only viable route. For 2 days the clan waits, huddled behind a screen of fallen rock, their hunger and gnawing beast within. The last of the edible ferns are gone. The water they scoop from rock pools is thick with sediment. The children's whimpers have faded into a terrifying lethargy. To wait is to die, to move is to die. Gor gathers Caden, the 3 other young hunters. In his hands are the clan's most primitive and most powerful tools, simple, fist-sized old owen choppers for shaping wood, and the clay-wrapped timbers of their fire. The plan, he whispers, is one of madness, born of utter desperation. They cannot fight the mountain of flesh, but they can provoke it. They can anger it. They will split their fire, a sacrilegious act, creating torches. The hunters, the fastest and bravest, will present themselves as a challenge, a flicker of defiant light in the gloom. They will make noise, they will wave the flames, and they will draw the eye of the monster. While Ashmore's rage is focused on the few, the many will slip past along the far edge of the mudflats. It is a plan that demands a sacrifice. Kale meets Goar's eyes, and there is no fear in them, only acceptance. He and the others take the burning sticks. The rest of the clan prepares to move, their movements silent, their faces etched with a grief for the living. This is the brutal calculus of their entire prehistoric life. The survival of the group is paid for. The strong shield the weak, the fast die for the slow. The gambit begins. Kale and his hunters break from cover, screaming, their voices thin and dreary against the vast silence. They wave their torches, small stars of orange against the grey world. The effect is immediate. Ashmore's head snaps up. That enormous yellow eye fixes on the source of the disturbance. For a moment, it seems confused by the audacity of these tiny creatures. Then, a roar tears through the valley, a sound that is not merely heard but felt, a physical blow that shakes the very rock. The Giganotosaurus heaves itself to its feet and charges. The clan moves. Gor half drags, half carries the slowest members, their feet sinking into the treacherous mud. They do not look back. They cannot. They can only listen to the thunder of the monster's pursuit and the defiant shouts of their protectors. Kale and his hunters scatter, leading the beast on a chaotic chase away from the escape route. One hunter, OAN, slips in the mud. He is gone in an instant, a single, choked-off scream swallowed by the predator's earth-shattering footfalls. Another is cornered against the cliff face, his torchlight extinguished in a blur of teeth and fury. But Kale keeps running, a lone firefly leading a demon into the darkness, buying his people seconds that feel like lifetimes. The last of the clan scrambles up the slope, their lungs burning, and they collapse onto solid ground, turning to look back into the hell they have just escaped. In the distance, a single torch still flickers, a tiny spark of courage against an overwhelming shadow is gone. They do not know if Kale survived, they only know that the sky ahead of them is blue. The air is clean and sweet, and the sun, a true sun, a true sun, a true sun, warms their ash-stained faces. They are 29 now, a remnant, but they are alive. They have walked through the gullet of the beast and emerged on the other side, forever changed. The shadow of Ashmore will haunt their dreams, but the memory of the hunter's fire will burn in their stories, a testament passed from one generation of human ancestors to the next. What they did in that valley was more than survival. It was a declaration. They used their minds to challenge a power 1,000 times their own. They leveraged community and altruism against brute force. This is the moment the odds of human evolution began to shift, not with a sharper tooth or a thicker hide, but with a desperate, brilliant, and heartbreaking plan. How many such sacrifices, unrecorded and unseen, were made in the deep past. Each one a stone laid in the foundation of our unlikely dominion. Their courage was the spark that refused to be extinguished by the coming dark. For in the heart of the hunted, the seeds of the hunter are sown. But what happens when the prey learns to tame the storm itself?